Welcome back to more Last Stream World Unknown. Last time I tried to end the episode by coming back to the Mercenaries Guild, and they had apparently moved from Theopolis, apparently somewhere to the southeast. And I don't know where they have gone, but basically I'm going to do a little bit of exploring around on this continent and see if I can manage to find where the Mercenaries Guild has moved to. And so that's going to be my first goal of the day, but perhaps we'll discover other things that we want to take a look at along the way. Yeah. And most of the monsters on this continent, I've been struggling a little bit when I run into big groups of monsters, but for the most part I've been doing a pretty good job, and even when I've been struggling, I've still been managing to stay alive. And so I'm not too worried about fighting here, and the fact that I'm just kind of wandering around and running into groups of monsters is probably going to be kind of helpful in the long run, just from the point of view of I'm continuing to kind of grind and level up my characters, so they'll be in better shape moving forward. And so I don't mind that aspect at all. But this is a direction that I hadn't gone exploring previously. I see that there's some kind of cave down there. And over here, aha! Perhaps this is it. This looks like where it could be the Mercenary Guild. Mercenaries Guild Camp, hooray! Great. Let's check it out. Here's Ignatius. Thanks for agreeing to help hunt these monsters. You'll be well rewarded now that the guild has begun to recover. Yes, yes. Alright, and we defeated Psychopomp since the last time we talked to these guys. Thank you for the efforts. Alright, let's go talk to Constantine? Is that his name? Yes, the guild treasurer. Well done on defeating Psychopomp, and good luck in your next target. Here's a reward for defeating the target. Mercenary hat, Mercenary helm. Fantastic. You defeated all the tier 1 targets. Check with Ignatius for tier 2 targets. Neat. Hey, I'm a rookie. Achievement unlocked. Alright, we got some new equipment. Let's check that out, because Emerald Helm versus Mercenary's Helm grants zombification and instant death immunity, and has increased defense and magic defense. Yes, please. I would like to wear that. And then the other one, what was the other thing that we just got? It felt like it was, I think it was a hat? Yes, Mercenary's hat. How does that compare to the Emerald's hat? Zombification and instant death immunity is great, and it is much better than the Emerald hat, so yes, that is going to be an upgrade right there. And actually, yeah, you already had the alchemical hat, and then I want to remember, let's see. This prevents against instant death attacks. That gives instant death immunity, so I no longer need to wear a protector ring because I have the Mercenary's hat, so I could switch this to a different ring. And so I'm tempted to put the sleep ring back on, I think, because that'll prevent my white mage from ever being put to sleep during battle. Yeah, I think that one seems like a good thing to use. Alright, so those were some very useful upgrades. Let's learn. Before we left Aldrin, we heard reports of several powerful monsters. To give you perspective, one monster was so terrifying, the residents of Necht abandoned their hatred of us and actually requested our help. You've proven yourself to be a seasoned hunter. We trust that you can handle these monsters in place of the veteran Mercenaries Guild members we usually entrust the task to. Please see Constantine for your reward if you defeat any of the targets. If you want more information about the targets, ask Virgil. Alright, so let's go talk to Virgil, who is standing right over here. Ignatius says you're ready for the tier 2 targets, and I agree. Let me tell you about the new beasts. Frozen Queen, Cimmerian Shade, Stone Titan, and Ruby Worm. Yes, so let's find out about the Frozen Queen. Only one person survived, then succumbed to his wounds. West of the Frozen Tower. Okay, so back on North Aldrin. Something from old elven history. They called her the Frozen Queen. One of the most ancient targets ever. Southwest of the Frozen Tower. Alright, well that's enough information to go on. The Frozen Tower is a bit of a distance away, and so I am curious to know about the second one as well, in case it's also on the same continent. Alright, so the Cimmerian Shade is a nebulous shadow. More powerful than the Frozen Queen. It's near Court. Alright. It's very large, feeds off the life force, kills everything, and grows stronger with this encounter. Let's go ahead and read about the other two as well. Earth Golem. The Abandoned Tower near Rockwood. Okay, so it seems almost like these are just like kind of like one upgraded enemies of the same 4 bosses that I just fought. Alright. And then is the final one going to be near Necht, the Ruby Worm? Yeah, Neck pleaded for our help. Okay. A Ruby Worm, similar to the Green Dragons, rampaging around Necht. We reluctantly decided that we would help. Okay, so it sounds basically like there are 3 more things on North Aldrin and 1 more on Necht, and I have a sense of what those monsters are and where they are. The Frozen Queen sounds like it'll be the easiest of the bunch, so that's something that we could go to in the future. Community Garden, great. Let's see if there's a place that I can rest here for free. That would be nice to find. Oh, it's a letter to thank Ignatius. How nice. And let's also see if there's any new things that I can steal from this particular camp. From my friends, the Mercenaries. Let's go and try to steal all their stuff. Doesn't look like there's any stuff lying around right there. How about up here? Impressive work, defeating the Gargantuan Golem. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, right? Well said. What do we have in here? Can I read this book? I can't quite get over there to interact with it. What do we have here? Maximilian's Adventures, Volume 1. Greatest climber in recorded history, also an avid spelunker. Alright, so it sounds like we'll be learning about Maximilian from some books around here. That looks like an ordinary well. What do we have over here? More reading to do, to learn some more of the lore of Maximilian, I expect. Best remembered for being the first human to reach the summit of Mount Vilu on Holdra. Alright. What little we knew of the massive underground lake in eastern Orphos comes from the expedition of Maximilian. Regretted he was never able to reach Mount Agni. Alright. What else will we learn? Nothing to steal in here, it looks like. Are there any other people up near the edge of the lake over here? Not that I can tell. So, just a reference to Maximilian and kind of an eastern lake. Alright, so it seems like the mercenaries are kind of spread out, but we're still doing okay. And it seems like that's everything there is here, and it doesn't look like that there was a place for me to actually sleep here. But at least we have the Mercenaries Guild camp, and I'm curious now if that shows up on the map. And I wonder if it will disappear if they end up moving again. So there is the South Orphos outpost that I walked through, but didn't actually kind of go into the buildings of last time. And it looks like if I kind of take a long route walking around here, I might be able to kind of get back over there. And so I think I'll try to head over that way next. There's some kind of cave over here, just to the east of where the Mercenaries Guild is, so let's at least walk in so that we get it on our map. Oh, and there's some other type of tent over there. Interesting. Rambling Man! Achievement unlocked, I guess for having visited a variety of places. I'm curious if I go ahead and save here. Can find out the name of this place. Underground Lake. Interesting. Alright, and I can walk right back out. Do I want to check out the underground lake right now? How am I doing in terms of magic points and things? We're still in pretty good shape. Okay, let's go ahead and explore a little bit of the underground lake. This is the first place I remember where it appears my kind of vision is diminished. It's like I've got a light source around my player, but it gets kind of dark out on the edges of the screen. And I don't remember having encountered that before. As we were exploring other places. It doesn't seem like it's actually preventing me from seeing any things on the outskirts. And so it's just kind of like a aesthetic effect, I guess, of being in some underground area here. Let's go ahead... Oh! Apparently, that guy is relatively immune to certain types of attacks. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. How many hit points does he have left? He still has a lot. Infested Tree. I don't recall if I have fought that guy before. Let's use... fire cost a whole lot to just spend it on one enemy. Do I have any cheap spells for you? Not a whole lot, honestly. Let's try Thunder 6. Just for some variety. Because for whatever reason, the monk... Oh, the monk got hit by an attack, and all of a sudden his... Right. I was failing to notice the status effects. We will check them out in just a moment. My thief is still hitting this guy, so that's fine. But let's actually take a look at status. And he's been hexed, and so he has attack down 35%. Agility, preemption, kind of all of these things have gone down as a result of that. And so that's why he's doing so little damage. And I guess at this point I should go ahead and cast Remedy to get rid of all of those status effects. And then presumably in the next round of battle, my monk will be able to help finish this guy off. I see. It doesn't get rid of the temporary status effects that you take in battle, as far as I can tell. Because it seems like the monk still has, like, intelligence down, attack down, etc. Alright, well, fair enough. Okay, I'll just outlast this battle then. Alright, so that battle ended up taking a while to finish off, but that enemy is more formidable than I originally gave it credit for. Looks like there's a hole in the ground almost that I just stepped over. I wonder if the ground here is going to open up where it's kind of like a dark color, and so I wonder if I should stand over here when I open the chest because it's going to like open a trap. Perfect SP orbs. Alright, well that's great. Can I talk to this little square? It just looks weird, but I guess there's not actually anything happening there. Alright, fair enough. I wonder if this is just like a side treasure area? Underground Lake. I feel like possibly we read some lore about that at some point in the past, and I don't remember anything about it, and so I'll just wander around and see what kinds of things we find. But I'm also going to be wary of the fact that I'm going through magic points relatively quickly right now. Alright, my thief just got diseased again, and so he's got that skull thing, and so just once again to show it off, disease! Alright, and so that makes it easy for me to know what it is. You'll recall that this is a status effect that makes it so that the player basically can't heal. I guess they heal only at 5% of their normal level, I think is actually exactly what happened. And so if I were to cast Cure on it, rather than getting like 100 hit points, I'd only get 5 hit points back. But we can cure disease using something. Let me see if I can remember what it is. So my White Mage doesn't yet have a skill that would get rid of it. However, Holy Cleanse would remove all status effects and debuffs from one ally. And so I think I want to go ahead and learn that skill. And I had plenty of skill points to learn them. And I've also been looking... We haven't looked into skills in a while. And there's a lot more skills that I could get. Fast Cure 500 hit points, magic defense plus 20% to one ally. All subsequent actions by user will strike first for battle. That could be a pretty interesting thing to learn. Here's a skill I should definitely learn for the thief because it's a passive, agility plus 50. I've got plenty of skill points. Let's go ahead and spend some. And here's another good passive, No One Left Behind, increases minimum escape ratio to 75%. Sure, let's grab that. And Burglary, 300% normal attack and steal. That sounds pretty good. I wonder, does it have like a cooldown or a warm-up? I don't see them listed up here, so that sounds like something I would be able to use immediately in battle. That actually sounds pretty amazing. I might actually use that a bit, although it is kind of an expensive spell to use. Here's a nice passive for the Black Belt, Know Thy Enemy. Crit plus 35. I will go ahead and take that. And then there's also Cleanse. The monk can learn Cleanse. Remove all status effects and debuffs from one ally. And this would be very useful to have, because it means if my White Mage gets silenced or put to sleep or something, someone else in the party could potentially wake up the White Mage, who could then heal everybody else. So I'm going to learn Cleanse as well. And I'm actually going to make sure that I equip Cleanse within one of my monk's skill slots. Okay, but let's keep moving and try to explore a little bit of this place. Ooh, I see treasure chests over there. Alright, now all of a sudden I'm really interested in being here. The possibility of treasure. What is this? This rock formation appears unstable. Push on it? Yes. Alright, it looks like it just fell into the water over there. I was kind of hoping it was going to leave me a bridge to get across here, but it did not. So I guess we'll have to go a different direction. Alright, here's another battle with the infested tree. And I'm really kind of curious to know about burglary now that I have it. 300% normal attack and steal. It only costs 50 magic points. I want to go ahead and use it on this guy, and this guy I think has a lot of hit points, and so I'll attack him as well. And I think for now I just want to guard and just kind of pay close attention to how well this attack does. Okay. 4,000. Wow. And stole a giant potion. Okay, so cost 50 magic points, and out of the thief, that's like 10% of all of his magic. But that's pretty amazing. So that seems like a valuable skill to have learned. I expect I might use it a bit more in the future. I also just realized that I forgot to actually get rid of the disease effect from my thief, and I'm going to have my monk heal him up, because up until now my monk is hardly ever using any of his magic points, and so that's a good reason for him to go ahead and use magic points outside of battle, the first thing that he could really use them for, and then I can have my white mage go and cast magic to heal up the rest of my party and get rid of poison and stuff like that. So that makes the monk more useful than he has been, just because most of his magic points have previously been wasted. Okay. It looks like I'm coming up on another one of those pillars, but I got into a battle right before then. And so let's see. What do I want to do this time around? I think let's do that burglary again. I really like it. And then for the rest of the party, I think fire works pretty well against the other enemy who is here. Great. Stolen Inferno Bomb. Terrific. Yeah, fire does tons of damage to those guys. Great. Okay, so that was very successful, and we actually have some level ups that I'll do in a moment. So if I push on this... Okay, more rocks fell. I still don't think I quite have a way to get down there, but it looks like maybe at the very top of the screen there is another one of these pillars, and so maybe if I push them all down, enough rocks will have fallen into that passageway that I'll be able to, like, jump across or something. That seems to be what's going on here. But for now, I'll continue just kind of exploring and walking around. I've been using the follow the left wall strategy to try to avoid going in circles. But it looks like this is bringing me down to where there's this pillar. Great. So let's push on this one. And yes, it does look like possibly enough rocks have fallen down there now that I'd be able to get back across. Well, let me fight some more bad guys. Ooh, my thief just got confused at the beginning of this battle. Ouch, and now he hits the monk. Alright, I think that's the first time, actually, one of my party has gotten confused. And I guess while they're confused, there's always the chance that they're going to attack other members of my party. Okay, fortunately the monk did not get confused. Ooh, the monk started getting some super criticals there. Super criticals, I think, are basically if you have your... If I go to the level up screen, the monk currently has 135 crit. I thought you needed like 150 or 200 crit in order to get super criticals. I'm not sure, but basically they'll do kind of like even more damage. Like if a critical does twice as much damage, like I think a super critical does like 2.5 times as much damage or something like that. So that's good to see that that's starting to randomly happen. Maybe it's probably as a result of the passives that I just added to the monk with some of his skill points. Oh, I just got into another battle and the thief is still confused. It did not occur to me that this was something that I was going to need to fix. I thought it would go away after battle. Alright, so in that case, I guess let's have the monk attack. Let's have the white mage cast... I guess Remedy will probably get rid of being confused, and so Remedy is probably sufficient. And we'll use some fire. So let's witness what happens here, just to verify that Remedy is going to get rid of confusion. Ouch. Oh, and my monk got hexed. That's no good. And diseased. Alright, Fire 8. Fortunately, the Black Mage is here to do most of the battle work. Remedy did indeed get rid of the confusion. Okay, so that's important to know. And at this point, I can probably have the Thief cast Dancing Daggers and finish everybody off here. And so that should be good. I'm using up a lot of my Thief's magic points. And actually, my Black Mage has already used up half his magic points as well. So there is a little bit of danger that I'm going to run out of magic points, and so I might need to save the second half of this area for next time. But let me do some healing. I'm going to continue to push forward for now, but I'm worried about how long we'll be able to keep this up. I do have warp stones, and so I could always probably warp out of this place if I needed to in a pinch, and then be able to make it back to Theopolis. A haste helm. That sounds pretty good. Finding some more recipes. And so, at this point, I'm not too worried about moving forward, just because I expect I can warp out and get back to a safe spot, or even use like a cottage outside or something if I wanted to. Actually, that might be the smarter thing to do, if I do end up warping out of here. But I'll continue fighting bad guys, because I do want to try to level up. Hey, I found some treasure chests. What do we get? Resurrection Elixir. Ooh, Ruby Axe. That's our first piece of Ruby equipment. Ruby Shield. And a medium AP orb. Tell me about these. He cannot use the Ruby Axe, and so I don't know if that's something that like only a fighter would be able to wield. How does the Ruby Shield compare to the Mercenary thingy? It's got less magic defense, but more defense and crit. And the Mercenary's Cloak prevented against fire, ice, and thunder. So it's kind of a bit of a trade-off there, so I'm not sure if I'd want to use the Mercenary Cloak or not. But that's interesting. So there was the axe, there was the shield, and wasn't there a third thing? What was the other thing that I just got? I did immediately notice what the other thing I might have just gotten was. And I don't see it in my inventory right now, and so we'll just be happy that we managed to get those things and head on back, because it seems like that's a dead end. Alright, on the way back, there was a place where I failed to place a mining bomb, so let's go inside here. It looks like we're going to get some treasures. Fire ring. Eh. Small AP orb. Eh. Alright. Kind of minor treasures. But I'm still happy to have them. At some point, I may consider selling some of the things that I've obtained in order to make money, if there are things that I think I'm never going to use. So that's something to think about as well. Alright, super critical. The word super is scrolling off the left-hand side of the screen. I think I'll report that one to the developers as well, because it would look better if super critical was not disappearing off the side of the screen, looking ridiculous there. Okay, so I've managed to get back to here. The fallen rock formations have created a bridge across the water. Across it? Yes. Bloop, 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 bloop. Alright. Managed to get across. And there's another place to place a mining bomb. So let's go ahead and do that. And sadly, I would need an engineer in order to place a mining bomb there. And so that was kind of a mining bomb wasted for my particular party. Oh well. If we continue over this way, I wonder if this will bring us around to the other 3 treasure chests that we saw kind of on the other end. Seems like that might be kind of spiraling around in that direction. This is a reasonably difficult set of monsters. I'm going to focus on the infested tree, because he is the guy who has dealt a ton of damage to me in the past, and Fire 8 seems to work well against a bunch of these monsters as well. Yeah, that's super critical whenever it jumps off the side of the screen. It looks foolish. I'll definitely report that. Made a note to do that at the end of today's play session. That one should be easy to fix. Alright, and at this point I should just be able to use Battle Macro 1 and just do some basic fights, basic attacks, finish off this group of monsters. Especially if they try to do things like prepare themselves for the next round of battle, when they're not even going to last through the next round of battle. Silly monsters. Alright, I guess one of them did last. So, he's got me there. Okay, and Confusion. I now know that I need to actually heal Confusion for the next round of battle. And my monk is actually getting a little bit low on magic points, and so I'm going to heal Confusion using my white mage, because it can use Lucidity, which costs fewer magic points anyway than the more general cleansing spell. But it's definitely the case that everybody is getting low on magic points. I think everyone's down to like about a third or a half of what they originally start with. So I may need to warp out of here. But yes, we did make it over to these 3 treasure chests. Auric Dagger, AP Orbs, Silence Ring. Okay, Silence Ring is something that I might actually wear rather than the Sleep Ring, because I haven't been put to sleep in a long time, but I have been silenced a number of times recently. And so until I encounter more monsters that are trying to hit me with sleep, I'm going to wear the Silence Ring on the White Mage to ensure that she is always able to cast spells. And let's see, we have another interesting. Ooh, Thawing Ring, and it looks different. Okay, is that a special item? Or is that just an accessory like a normal ring? Okay, it doesn't show up in special. So let's see. Thawing Ring is here. What does it do? Prevents against being frozen, and it looks different. So I expect that that's like a different tier of ring, and the Thawing Ring might be a new kind of attack. I wonder if perhaps the Frozen Queen boss, who's one of the next bosses that I know I want to go after, might try to freeze me. Oh, actually, I think I've had a character get frozen before, and I think it was kind of like being turned to stone. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, so maybe that's what that would prevent against. In any case, we got a new kind of ring, and it looks different, and so I'm excited about that, but I'm not going to put it on anybody just yet. And I think we might be done with this place. I'm going to try to trace my way back out of here and see if there's anywhere else that we haven't gone yet. And I'm a little bit worried about the fact that we're in a big group of enemies here. So I'll keep you with me for fighting this battle. I'm actually going to go ahead and cast Citadel, because I'm worried about taking a big bunch of attack here. And fire does work well against these guys, so we'll use Fire 8. But let's see if we can manage to take out the worst of the worst before we take too much damage ourselves. Yes, okay, great. Now I feel much more confident. I'll finish off this battle and bring you guys back if I find anything else interesting inside this dungeon. Alright, I made it back to the entrance of the underground lake, and I think that was everything in there. My guys are pretty low, and so I think it's time to head back to Theopolis so that we can rest. Although, actually, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of doing that, I have so many medium cottages. Let's try using one and get a sense. My White Mage currently has 1272 of 3038 magic points. Let's get a sense of just how good a medium cottage is for storing magic points. So let's go ahead and camp on the world map. And I will also go ahead and save to a new save slot. And now let's take a look. 1700 of 3038. Okay, so it gave me some magic points back, but not a ton. It did restore the Thief and the Monk's magic points, so I guess it's kind of a fixed number across the party. So maybe about 500 magic points each time you sleep. And that gives me a little bit more durability, and so I guess I can continue to explore from here for a little while. So yes, with some magic points restored, I think possibly I can get to the South Orphos border outpost or whatever it was from here. Actually, I'm not sure if I can, because it looks like there are broken bridges along this way, and there's just a tunnel over there. So yeah, I actually don't think I can get there from here, so it looks like this way is going to be a dead end. So I'll turn around and try to get there the other way. Alright, Theopolis was along the way, so I stopped at Theopolis, but let's go back to, what was the name of this place again? The Southern Orphos Border Outpost, and actually go inside some of these places and see what's here. Ooh, Hyper Remedy Potion. Mining bombs, that's great. I've been using a few of those recently. Who are you? Human Border Guard. This is the best post in the entire Orphean military. There hasn't been an incident on this border crossing since the Great War. I see, so it's a cushy job is what you're saying. What do we have over here? Make a ward tonic. Alright. And perfect elixir. Alright. So a few things to get. I wonder, over on this side, I presume the sign says the same thing? Yes, it does. And on this side, one of only a handful of posts that allows soldiers to drink while on duty. As long as that remains true, I'll be a happy man. Otherwise, this would be a boring post. I see. That cushy of a job. Hey, there's a blue chest in here. Military bureaucracy. During the Great War, the generals leading the Orphean military and the Theopolis ruling council butted heads over the course that the war should take. Many believe the war could have ended years earlier if the council had stayed out of the affairs of the general. Some also blame the subsequent overthrow by the Mad King Argus on this internal conflict. On this internal conflict on. That seems to be a typo, the last word there. Alrighty. 5 resurrection elixirs. Very nice. Okay, having a thief in the party is really paying off in terms of having all these extra consumable items. But it appears that that is all that is here at the border outpost. Since I am here, this is the way that we get back to my boat, and I have some new boss targets over on the continent of North Aldrin, and so I'm going to head back over in that direction. If I zoom... Yeah, I can go almost basically directly to the west in order to get there. And so I'm going to head back over in that direction. I see the Frozen Queen over there. I think we will engage her shortly, but first off, I'm going to go to the little house over here where we can sleep. It is the case that my characters, I've been fighting all the battles on the ocean and walking across the continent as I got over here, and so my characters have leveled up again. And so we continue to get stronger, which is terrific. And so I think we'll have a fair shot against the Frozen Queen, is my expectation. But I'm going to go ahead and make sure that we're all healed up and saved up before we go ahead and engage. Oh, is the Isolationist back here? He is. It seems I cannot escape you. I frequently struggle to control my temper around others, and when I do, I explode. All I can muster is to run away. Had I initially known you were such grand warriors, I would have gladly given you my treasure. Here, take these also. Rejuvenating elixir? Wow. Alright. Can I still sleep here now, or is this no longer going to be my bed? Ah, I can rest. Okay, great. So I guess just kind of like a little minigame slash side story to kind of chase this guy around. You may rest here any time. Alright, fantastic. So we managed to rest. And I think I decided he is not that woman's husband. The man that we found in the tunnel in the little brown tree area a couple of episodes ago, or whenever it was, is the woman from Rockwood's husband. And it appears, I noticed by watching Sendril play, that if we'd found him earlier, we could have found him while he was still alive, but unfortunately we waited too long and he ended up dying down there. I'm just going to run from these guys. Shoo! Alright, so that we can be at full maximum strength to engage the Frozen Queen. Okay, and if she ends up freezing some of my enemies, I need to remember that I have a freeze ring that I could equip on some of my guys. And let's start things off by using Burglary if we can for a 300% attack. And I think I will start with Citadel, since that seems like a good opening into a boss battle. And I'm also going to start with Crumble. Alright, and she apparently has a lot of agility and is good at dodging. Managed to steal a nectar, so that's great. Crumble does reduce her magic defenses. Citadel will increase my magic defenses. And now, let's see, are there any other awesome skills I could use? Backstab, normal attack with double critical damage. That sounds pretty good. We'll just do a normal attack, and let's try Blessing the Monk, so that he'll be able to do more damage. And now let's try our very favorite attack of Annihilation to use against bosses. And I didn't notice what percentage of hit points... Only managed to do 4,500 there. What percentage of hit points I'd already managed to take down on the Frozen Queen. How are we doing in terms of progress here? Yeah, we got her like a tenth the way down at least, or something. So let's keep attacking, and let's try... Let's bless the Thief as well, so that we can do tons of damage that way. And let's try Fire on her, because she's probably weak to fire since she's a Frozen Queen. Frigid Blight. Okay, that really isn't doing a whole lot of damage. This is not a problem. Fire 8. Okay, that dealt a lot of damage. That's pretty good. And now the Thief has been blessed. I wonder if the Thief can use his burglary thing again. Yes. Okay, 300% normal attack. Let's go for it. And what else can I cast to help make sure the party is going to be in good shape? What is Sentinel? Just extra defense in the party. Dissolve, extra could prevent instant death attacks. I really don't know that we necessarily need any of this. Let's do Giant, and then I can heal people up even more. So basically increase my kind of hit point base. Let's do another Annihilation, and we'll probably have to use another Crumble for the next round of battle. But I feel like I'm doing pretty well here. And it doesn't seem like the Frozen Queen is doing a whole lot of damage to me. Okay, so everybody has much greater maximum hit points. Burglary just has one cooldown, so we'll switch off between it and Backstab. And now we'll use a Heal 4 in order to give everybody a whole bunch of extra hit points, and now it's time to go back to Crumble, try to reduce her magic defenses so that we can hit her with more magic again in the future. Frozen Solid. Okay, that reduced people's agility, it seemed like. I can live with that. That's not a big deal. Everybody has tons of hit points. This is great. Yeah, I feel like this is all going to go fantastic. Let's bless the monk again, I think. And let's try casting Annihilation again if we can. Yep, we can. And Frozen Queen's already down to half her hit points. So I think we're going to manage to take down another boss here. Deep Freeze. Yeah, not a problem. Nice, 10,000. That's the type of damage numbers I like to see. Alright, so I think we're back to backstabbing and attacking. And is there anything else we need to do? I guess we could afford some healing again. So let's do a fast heal. And let's try fire again. Alright, but I'm definitely feeling like my party is really leveled up, and I expect I'm going to get a whole lot of experience out of winning this battle, and we'll get future rewards from the Mercenaries Guild, so this is going to make me much more confident moving forward that I will be able to defeat whatever lies in front of me. And I think at this point, let's cast Blessed on the Thief again. And can I do another Annihilation? Yes, I can. Alright, so it doesn't even seem like this is really a war of attrition because she's hardly doing any damage to me. So unless she has something like where she can heal herself back up to full or something, I expect I'm going to be able to take her down in this row of combat. Let's just cast whatever's the biggest thing I can do right now. Implosion seems like it's pretty good. There we go. Alright, Frozen Queen taken down. And we got a fair amount of experience, it looked like, from that. A little bit of gold, some skill point gains, and an Icy Essence. Alright, fantastic. Another monster down. I used up a ton of magic in that, so I'm going to go rest at the Isolationist house once again. And I have a feeling that's probably a good place to go ahead and wrap up this episode. So I will say that I hope, as always, that you all are having a great day. And next time, it seems to me that there's still one or two other bosses back on the continent of North Aldrin here, and so next time perhaps we'll try to fight some of those bosses to get things started. But until then, see you guys later. Bye-bye.